Hi, I'm Vanessa and I'm joined with our fabulous nutritionist Kirsten here, and we are going to chat a bit about plant-based nutrition. We know that a diet that's plant-focused has so many benefits and it's not actually that hard to do and start on. So what we will cover today is more about the common mistakes that can be made when you start to incorporate into your lifestyle. So tell us a bit more about it, Kirsten.
So when you change your diet drastically, you can often go through a period of feeling irritable and tired and fatigued, but those symptoms don't generally last very long. And once you get those processed foods out of your diet, or you just increase more of the good foods, the plant-based foods, you will feel better quite quickly. So I advise people to ease into it, because if you don't ease into it and you move into it too quickly, you can sometimes trip yourself up, lose focus and then fall off the wagon. So easing into it and not skipping a transition period is really key.
Okay, well that sounds easy. Get started on those small changes. And I mean, we don't need to think about cutting out every animal protein, do we?
No, you don't. So you don't have to become vegetarian or vegan. You absolutely can just view it as increasing the plant foods and still enjoy, if you choose, to have foods that, dairy and meat products. Absolutely, you don't need to become vegan. But if you do choose to take a vegan approach, just be careful with some of your nutrients, because there are certain vitamins that you can't get from or in very high doses from plant sources. So I'm thinking about vitamin B12 here. Some people do start to be depleted in iron as well. So it's just really important, if you do go vegan, to just watch out for those particular nutrients.
Would that be something that would be worth supplementing?
You absolutely could, and I would always suggest that you speak to your doctor or your healthcare professional before you supplement any nutrient. But certainly B12 is something that a lot of vegans do have to supplement.
Yeah. And with vitamin D as well, would that be something?
Yeah, vitamin D and iron too. So if you're starting to feel fatigued, I would absolutely, or you're getting sick often, I'd be checking your vitamin D and your iron levels too.
And anything else that we could potentially miss out on when we're adopting this way of eating that we should pay attention to?
Yeah, I think the other thing to keep in mind is protein. People can often skimp on protein. They remove the animal products from their diet and then they don't replace them with plant protein. So the amino acids that we get from protein are super important in our body. They've got many, many roles, including our brain health and maintaining our muscle mass as well. So protein also does keep us feeling fuller for longer. So it's really important to replace the animal proteins with plant-based proteins. So I'm talking about tofu and tempeh and lentils.
Yeah. And even they have some of the protein powders that are plant-based protein powders?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's protein powders out there. So pea-based, hemp seed are all great plant-based protein powders that you can use.
Okay, well that's a little bit more about protein. And I mean, how could I combine some foods to get the biggest bang for my buck when I'm trying to make sure I have enough protein in my diet?
Yeah, so it's a good point. So when you're obtaining your protein from plant sources, you need to look at combining foods. So for instance, if you're going to eat beans, you combine that with rice to get a complete protein, so the complete profile of amino acids that you need. So it's about making good choices, looking at the protein content in each, especially if you're looking at packaged items, just checking the protein content and looking into food combining too. Yeah,
and we have a lot of different options here, which can obviously offer quite a bit of protein and your different vitamins and minerals, but we have some options that come from the supermarket. You can get some plant-based pre-packaged options. Tell us a bit more about that and just some things to watch out for.
That's right. So you can, I mean, at the moment, it's amazing. Every week there seems to be a new plant protein product in our supermarket. So we've got, burgers here. We've got many different cashew cheeses I've seen and spreads. So absolutely use those for convenience. There's always a time and a place when you're busy and you need to just go for that quick grab. But just be mindful to check on the back of the packet, looking at the nutritional panel, and just actually see what, and the ingredients there, see what's in there, because often there are fillers in there, salt, sugars, they're genetically modified soy can be an issue. So just really being mindful of what it is in the ingredients list. And for me and my family, there's days when I need to resort to packaged foods. Let's face it, we all have busy days. I just like to look at the ingredients list and pick the product that has got the least number of ingredients and make sure that I can understand exactly what that ingredient is. So that's key.
Not too bad.
Yeah. So there you go.
Fantastic. Well, I think there are some really important reminders to keep in mind. A totally plant-based diet may not be for everybody, but we can all benefit from incorporating more of these options in our everyday.